Get ready for the dictation. Start. Science has unified the whole world by bringing about speedy means of transport and communications between different nations. Stop. There is also speedier communication of ideas between different countries by means of the press and the radio. Stop. This has brought internationalism in the forefront, and the ancient Indian adage of Vasudeva Kutumbakam, the entire world is one family, nearer realization. Stop. Now, various nations and their people do not think in terms of isolation or nationalism. They are rather alive to the problems of the whole world. Stop. The concept of nationalism has undergone a radical transformation. Stop. Nations do not now aim at self sufficiency, they do not craze for self aggrandizement and colonial expansion at the expense of other nations, except stray cases like China, Portugal, South Africa, and Pakistan. Stop. Para. The outlook of nations stands broadened in almost every field of human endeavor: political, economic, social, educational, and now we talk of international cooperation in science as well. Stop. The idea of one nation, one state, which flourished during the last half of the century or so, is fast giving place to the idea of a world federation of states which will continue to be autonomous in their internal affairs. Stop. This idea is very popular among the statesmen of the world, but the fact of division of various nations into power blocks, one led by the USA that stands for democracy, private enterprise, and capitalism, the second by the USSR that stands for communism and socialism, the third by China that stands for forcible expansion of primitive type of communist in Southeast Asia, Asian and African countries, and lastly the fast emerging world of non-aligned nations stands in the way of realization of the one world, one family ideals. Stop. The ideological differences of these blocks are the main hindrances in the formation of World Federation. Stop. Para. The idea and need for world unity and a world federation contemplates the union of federation of all the nation states of the world into one organization with its own government, cooperation and not competition for the furtherance of common interests and common objectives is the basis of such a federation. Stop. Membership of the federation does not involve loss of freedom to any member state in the real sense. Stop. Every member, big or small, strong or weak, civilized or uncivilized, developed or underdeveloped, will enjoy equal status and be an absolutely independent unit in its internal affairs. Stop. A member state will have the freedom to develop its own life, its own culture, its own tradition, its own hopes and aspirations, and its own political, economic, and social systems. Stop. Its only obligation towards the World Federation will be the surrendering of a part of its sovereignty, its right to act according to its own sweet will in its external affairs and to submit to the authority of the World Federation in matters of international concern. Stop.